A very warm welcome to the top three qualifiers for the FIA Formula One Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. In third place, Oscar Piastri. In second place, Lando Norris, and taking his 8th pole position of this 2025 campaign and his 5th here in Abu Dhabi, our pole sitter, Max Verstappen. Max, very well done. 2 laps good enough for pole this evening. Tell us about the performance, first of all. How good was the car? How clean were those laps?
Yeah, I think in general qualifying felt a little bit more together compared to the other sessions, where I always felt like we're still lacking a little bit. But then I think, yeah, with the final changes that we made going into the night, that seemed to help us a bit. And then, yeah, throughout qualifying, just improving nicely. In Q2, of course, I was on scrub tires. And to be honest, I was a little bit surprised in the first run how much the new tires actually gave me. But yeah, it was a good lap already, with a little bit of a help also, of course, from Yuki with the toe. So that was very nice of him to give up one of his runs. And then, yeah, the second lap, I was not sure if I was going to improve just because of the toe that I got. But then, yeah, again, just found a little bit more lap time in the corners, and that gave me then, yeah, a little bit more lap time. So happy with that, happy with the one lap performance at the end then in qualifying. Now, of course, the big question mark is, can we keep that up in the race?
Well, can you? You said that qualifying went better than the practice sessions. Have you got the long run pace that you need?
I would hope so. I mean, I actually did a lot of laps in the long run, so we tried to prepare in the best way possible. It's probably the best I have felt, but of course, let's see if that's good enough.
So, huge race tomorrow. You have your title rivals alongside you and directly behind you. First up, how much are you going to relish this battle tomorrow?
Of course, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to try to win that race, but of course, with that, I still need a little bit of help or luck, you know, to win the championship. But we'll see how that goes tomorrow.
And how much will you agonize about the different permutations that you need tonight?
In terms of?
Just what you need to win the championship. How much will you look into that?
To think about that tonight? No, we'll figure it out tomorrow. Not tonight.
All right.
We'll see. I mean, it's like talking about strategy. Like, you can talk about it for 1 hour, 2 hours, and then normally after one lap you throw it in the bin. So there's yeah, a lot that can go well for you, can go against you, and we'll find out tomorrow.
All right, Max, thank you very much for that. Lando, let's come to you. You said a moment ago you're disappointed not to be on pole, so let's talk about Q3. How was the car? How was your rhythm out there?
Yeah, it was, I think Q1, Q2 not the smoothest. My Q3 laps I was pretty happy with, honestly. So, yeah, I felt pretty good. I felt like I got a lot out of the car today, and but it just wasn't enough, so I was disappointed because you just want to be on pole for the final race of the year. But we just didn't have the pace today, so I felt like I got the maximum out of the car, and I have to be happy with that. Of course, behind the one person I kind of want to be ahead of, that's the only reason for the disappointment. But otherwise, I was pretty happy with my laps, and yeah, it was the maximum we could do.
You used 2 sets of tyres early on. How much did that upset the rest of the session for you?
No, I didn't.
All right. Well, look, let's throw this forward to the Grand Prix itself. First of all, the long run pace of the car. What did you learn in Friday practice in particular?
Bits. I think we weren't in the best position on Friday. I think we've improved on quite a few areas since then. And race pace, normally we're pretty strong, but like Oscar said, Max's pace was also very strong. So yeah, I think today when you look at it, we weren't quite quick enough, but of course we'll hope we can turn some of that around tomorrow.
So how do you balance taking risks in this race with protecting your championship lead?
Yeah, I'll decide when I have to.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Oscar, it was very close between you and Lando in qualifying. Let's talk about your one lap pace, first of all. How pleased were you?
I think overall pretty happy. I felt like Q1, that was the first lap that was actually good for the weekend, which was nice to have it at the right time. And then I think the laps in Q3 were pretty good as well. The tiny little margins that you always have on a qualifying lap were probably there, but I didn't have an answer for Max's pace today, so ultimately pretty happy. Would have loved a bit more, but we didn't have it.
And are you happy with the long run pace of the car?
Difficult to know. I've not done that much long running. Obviously on the FP2, but it looked okay without being anything spectacular. So yeah, I would love it to be. I would have loved the long runs to have gone a bit better, but we're here now, and we'll see how the conditions and the tracks evolve.
Now, you've won championships before, obviously, as has Lando in the junior formulas. Is there anything you've learned from previous high-pressure moments that will help you tomorrow?
Yes. Funny things can happen. That's what I've learned.
Going to get your popcorn out and watch these two going into turn one tomorrow, for example?
Turn one, I don't know, but I'll have some on standby.
All right, thank you very much for that. All right, let's open this to the floor. As ever, name and publication, please. Who's first?
Scott Mitchell from The Race. A question to all three. Based on the long runs in FP2 and how the track has felt through today, how much do you feel it's gripped up from yesterday, and what's that going to do in terms of the demands of the car? Because a lot of people were talking about front graining on the front right and then deg on the rears.
Normally it always improves a bit. It's quite natural throughout the weekend. But still, I think everyone in the long runs was graining their right front, and at the same time the rears, I guess, are also not on holiday. So yeah, I think we will all struggle with the same thing, but some a bit more than others.
Lando, your thoughts?
No, Max, I think, summed it up pretty well. I think the track certainly improves always into qualifying. Probably not as much as we might have thought, considering yesterday at the fuel loads are at, things like that was already at 23.0, I think. So we didn't really go that much quicker today with a lot less fuel. So I maybe would have hoped for a bit more from us today in quali performance, but lately our quali performances have been something that have been a bit more on the back foot rather than the races. So. Yeah, but like Mike says, I think everyone struggled with similar things. But generally, people try and work on those things as much as possible into FP3 and so forth. And normally the grip coming up then also helps that into Sunday.
Yeah, I don't have much to add. I think it has gripped up quite a bit. I think the deg, for everyone was probably a bit worse than expected. So we'll see what that looks like tomorrow.
Thanks all. Right, next.
Carlo Platella, Formula Passion. Question for Max. You mentioned the improvements you and the team made since yesterday. What were the main struggles you experienced yesterday with the car?
Just being able to put it all together. So, sometimes that's oversteer, sometimes that understeer. It just depends also a little bit on the corner layout. And every session you try different things, and then some bits are positive, some bits are negative. And then, over the practice sessions, you make a call on what you want for qualifying. That's what we did, and finally, basically, most of the corners came together.
Thank you. Next.
Phil Duncan, PA. Max, back in 2016, when Lewis was trying to win the title, he tried to back Nico up into the pack so he would fall down a few places. Is that a tactic that you're considering tomorrow, and one you might be up for exploiting? And I guess to Lando, you sort of prepared for what might not be a very straightforward race in that respect.
Yeah, it was also a different layout. I feel like now you get towed around a lot more around the lap, so it's probably not as easy to do something like that. Cars also, of course, completely different to back then. I felt like it was a lot easier back then to back it up because the tires would overheat a lot when you would get close. I remember even in 2016 in some qualifying laps you couldn't go flat out in sector 1 to keep the tires alive in the last sector, which actually was here, for example. So it's very different times. I hope it's not straightforward, the race, but hopefully that's not because of me.
Lando, are you expecting a complicated race like that?
No idea. I expect everything, so I'll wait and see.
Okay, thank you. Next.
Hi, Julian Linden from the Herald Sun. Question for Oscar. Are you cool with the team orders now if you can't win? And if by chance it turns out that you do something which helps Lando win the championship, how would you hope or expect he might thank you or repay you down the track?
I don't know. Handshake would be good, probably. I don't know. You know, I don't know what exactly is expected of me yet, but you know, until either Lando or Max cross the line in front of me, I've still got a chance of winning the title. So, yeah, we'll see how the race pans out.
Next one.
Lawrence Edmondson, ESPN. Just to follow up on that, Oscar, are you expecting those conversations to happen before the race tomorrow? Is that the normal process to have those kind of conversations about that? And to Lando, you mentioned on Thursday how much the championship would mean to you if it happens. Was there any difference in the way you felt ahead of that qualifying session? Was there any nerves creeping in?
I'm sure we will talk about it, yes. I think it makes a lot of sense to talk about that one before the race.
No, I mean, I'm always a bit nervous before quali. It's just more excitement than anything else. But I felt, apart from Q1, I felt pretty good out there. So no, I felt pretty normal.
Thank you. Next.
Tim Murray, TSN. Question for Max. Max, where does this qualifying lap from yourself, your final push lap, where does that rank for you sort of all time? And was it close to perfection from yourself?
Yeah, it felt really good, and of course there was quite a bit of pressure, of course, of trying to do the best we could. It felt probably similar to like 21 qualifying. I had a really good qualifying here as well, but I like that. I mean, you know, when probably pressure is highest or when you really need to perform, normally I perform because I enjoy that kind of aspect. Yeah, it was nice. I mean, you always try to, of course, do the best possible quali lap. Sometimes it works out a bit better than other times. I think this time it worked out pretty well.
Thank you. Next one.
Luke Smith from The Athletic. And one for Lando, obviously in the build-up to Qatar, you could have won the championship there on Sunday. How did that, going through that experience in terms of nerves and pre-race build-up and everything like that, has that helped you going into this weekend? Will it help you tomorrow, or the stakes just so much different this time around?
I mean, it feels a bit different, but just because it's the final race of the year, not because of anything else. And I felt pretty normal into Sunday last week. You know, I didn't really have the expectation that I was going to get the championship because, yeah, I started P3 and just didn't really expect it. So, or P2. So, no, I felt good then. I feel good now. I feel, you know, comfortable and ready to go. I feel like we got a good plan for things, but you can't, like Max said, you also just can't plan for everything. So, no, I feel good. I feel excited to get the final race done and then go on holiday.
Thank you. Next.
Matt Koch from PlanetF1.com. To the two McLaren drivers, tomorrow there's a good possibility that one of you is going to be very happy and one perhaps a little bit less happy. Have you guys discussed that? Will you discuss that? What are the sort of the plans in place, if you like, so that I guess one of you doesn't bring the other one down, the other one doesn't have their nose rubbed in it?
I don't think you need to have any discussions about things like that. You know, one of us could win our first championship in F1. You know, you're obviously going to celebrate that. I think we've got more than enough respect between each other to, you know, appreciate the work of the person that loses tomorrow, and you know, there's going to be nothing but respect either way. So I think also whoever's on the losing side, you know, it would be unfair to expect the person who's won to not celebrate. So I don't think you need any conversations. I think we're adults and got enough respect between us to know what's right.
Yeah, Oscar said it well. I think it's not a conversation that needs to be had, and I think we both understand each other and are respectful enough of one another. I think we both understand that yeah, no one would do anything in a bad way or anything, you know, to make the other feel worse. Like I think we both respect what we do every single weekend, every quali, every race that we go out and race together. But that's the same off the track. Like we're two different guys, but we get along, and that's what we need.
Okay, another one.
Maria Guidotti, Graining F1. A question for Lando, two questions. Would you sign to finish tomorrow the way you finished today? And the second, in an ideal situation as approaching a season, it's better to be, in terms of mindset, the hunter or the hunted?
I don't mind either. I've been in both positions, I guess. I felt good in both. I performed in both, so yeah, I'm not too bothered to be the hunter or the hunted. I think normally to be hunted is fine because you're normally the one with the advantage in the first place. So that's good. And of course, I mean, I would sign for that now, but life's not that simple, sadly. So I'm still going to go into tomorrow, and we're still going to go in. Plan for how we can win the race, whether it's on pace or strategy or whatever it may be. That's all going to be our plan tomorrow, and that's all how I want to end the season, standing on top. So nothing changes from that side.
Thank you. And another one.
Justina Golopoulos on Momentum Racing. How much of tomorrow will be decided in the first few corners, and you are ready to take the maximum risk if needed? And this question to all three drivers.
Max, should we start with you?
All out. I have nothing to lose. So for me, of course, I'm going to try to win the race. I'm going to defend. If I need to attack, I'll attack, because what can happen? You had a second or third, or you win. That would be fantastic.
Lando?
I mean, it's not something you decide now, honestly. So it's something that you'll see, and something we decide. Kind of before the start of the race and 5 meters before you break into turn one. So until then, I think everyone just wants to get the maximum out of it for themselves.
I mean, from where I'm sat, I need things to happen in the race to win the championship. So I'll wait and see if those things happen.
All right. Thanks to all three of you. Best of luck tomorrow. Thank you.